Right, the Renters' Rights Bill is almost upon us. So for landlords, winter's coming. And so it's probably going to come in next month now, once it gets royal assent. So it's been through the Commons and the Lords, just needs royal assent. So one of the things about the Renters' Rights Bill is that landlords and therefore letting agents won't be able to ask for more than 1 month's rent up front. Now, this is something that I was just affected by, because there's a family member who I'm paying the rent, or I just paid the 6 months rent up front for a family member, and it came round for the letting agent asking for another 6 months rent up front, and I said, look, next month the landlord is literally not going to be able to do that anymore, and so yes, I can do it, but I'd rather not. Can you just have me as the guarantor instead, and I'll just pay it monthly? And letting agent went back to the landlord and said, okay, seeing as you're such a good egg, as long as you pass referencing, yes, we'll do it. And let's face it, if we'd have said no, we're not doing it, and they'd have served notice on us, whilst they still can, a no fault eviction, they'd have had a new tenant in, and they wouldn't have been able to insist on 6 months rent up front. So actually, was it worthwhile just saying yes, to us in this instance? And yes, the answer was yes. Right, so the main point I've got from this is that with serviced accommodation, you can rent a property from a landlord via a letting agent, so direct to landlord or via a letting agent. And because it's not anything to do with the Housing Act, it's effectively a commercial contract, the owners can still ask for instance, 6 months rent up front, so that it gives them some reassurance and security. And so that's actually making it a lot more attractive to a landlord who would like to have 6 months rent up front to actually rent the property out for someone doing serviced accommodation, taking it on a company let, not an AST, a short hold tenancy, assured short hold tenancy. So that's, I think, a win-win for serviced accommodation people doing rent to serviced accommodation. If it's a good property and if you've got the funds, then you could pay 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months rent up front to secure the deal, and you're more attractive to that owner than letting it out on an AST. So that's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. So where there's adversity, there's opportunity, and the Renters' Rights Bill, I think, in so many areas is making it better for those of us doing service accommodation, and specifically rent to service accommodation. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you've got any questions on that, because I think if you can create win-wins, you crack the code, right? What do you think? So if you want more tips, tricks and updates and angles on what to do when they're throwing hurdles in your way, then make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all of the good stuff. Because from me, the property soldier, remember, your future prosperity needs you to create win-wins. Take care.